Onboarding in most organizations, and I have deep respect for people that work in onboarding because it's incredibly challenging with the highest expectations from the business. But in most organizations, onboarding consists of a schedule, a calendar of live delivery or of here's some information that we will spoon feed to you, right? And after 1 week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever the duration of that onboarding program is, you just kind of spit people out into the wild. They say, okay, you're done. And then you send them out. And the truth is that in their real world, in their day-to-day, they're never going to be spoon-fed information the way that you did during those couple of weeks, right? So you are modeling a behavior that is not really going to be consistent with their success. That's one thing. And then the other part of it is that we know what the forgetting curve is. We know that if you are offering 100% of the information to someone in a very condensed amount of time, you're lucky if they retain 20% of that after the first week, 8% of that after the second or third week. So really what you're looking at is 92% of the information is lost. Look at that just from a context of ROI, especially if you flew people in to the location, right? So granted, there is definitely a value in live people coming together, the networking, the intangible kind of feeling of belonging that happens there is incredibly precious. But if you're trying to also get people informed and capable to do the job, that may not be the best model, right? So what we do is something different. We launched a reinvented program that we don't call it onboarding, precisely because I think that onboarding is a lie. And with our program, what happens is that when you join in our go-to-market organization, you need to do 20 customer ride-alongs in your first 30 days. From the onset, you're going to be observing what is happening in the wild, what's happening live. We give you the resources so that when you have a question, you have a place to go to get answers, right? But let's say that you've shadowed or you're following one of these ride-alongs. At the end, you have to fill out a form, one, to get credit, and two, to be able to give us a little bit of line of sight. And you're going to answer, what was the most surprising thing I saw? What is the most confusing thing I saw? And where will I go to get more information? So the most surprising thing is actually just helping them reflect really quickly on everything that they just witnessed. And they have to, compare. And in that reflection, it helps also retain the information. The most confusing thing is actually a data point for us, because if we have a lot of new hires highlighting the fact that there's something that's very confusing common amongst all of them, that's an indicator to us that that's a good place for an intervention. And where they're going to go to get more information, sometimes they're going to respond to things that we didn't even know existed, repositories that have happened organically across the organization, right? So it becomes also a great data point for us to be able to source where is knowledge being shared. And if you have a new hire that just has no answer to that question, like, I don't even know where to start, that's a flag for whoever, the ambassador of the cohort, to be able to reach out and say, hey, I heard that you were having trouble with this specific topic. Let's talk it through, right? So that's one big shift, is that instead of having people sitting, observing and trying to consume content at a, incredibly hectic pace, what we're doing is trying to get them into the field to be exposed to the reality as soon as possible, with the premise of giving somebody the answers before they're asking the question doesn't give you the same results.
Got it. You said something really interesting. Ambassador to the cohort. What's that?
So we have folks that are in region that meet weekly with the new hires. And they have different, conversations. We're modeling, like doing role plays and having, guest speakers and different types of things. But this is where folks are going to come together. One, to be held accountable for the work that they're doing. Two, to learn from each other, because it's a mixed cohort. It's not only the people that started on this day. It's everyone that's in that program, in that region, in a span of time. So you're going to have folks that are on their 90-day mark, and you're going to have folks that it's their first day, right? And we want to establish those connections. I don't know about you, but I still remember very vividly the exact people that were in my new hire class in this company, and the company before that, and in the one before that, right? Yeah. But there were people in the class before, in the class after, that I have no idea. I really don't know. And if you think about the missed connections that are there, right? Because you can actually learn from somebody that just went through this. They have all the empathy. They know exactly what you're going through, and you're able to engage with them. It's so valuable.